it's really a non-brainer, no-brainer actually, that you're paying money to choose food which you know has got pesticides. I'm like, makes no sense.
For Navratri, हम लोग जो ये काम कर रहे हैं, talk to 9 different people, understand their healthy lifestyle. So today we have with us Lakshmi Ramamurthy, who is an advertising professional and is doing a lot of volunteering work with cancer centers in hospitals and suicide prevention causes. How all this started? How have you started moving towards a healthy lifestyle?
For me, it was like motherhood. Till then, I was a working professional, running, doing this, trying to do that, then got married. Then once the child is in your stomach, then you're wondering, okay, what am I eating? Because you feel more responsible for. Beauty for me is that this happened along with availability. I'm like, suddenly you hear organic thing, this is available, somebody that, and at that time we didn't get too many South Indian veggies in that platter.
It was more of local seasonal vegetables.
Local seasonal, sometimes unknown. Something like all kinds of things would come. Don't even know, like Shepu and all, we Tamilians, Maharashtra, it's a more Maharashtra specific thing, and it's an acquired taste. So I would look at that and say, I don't even know how to make it. Fortunately, we had a cook who would come in, and for her, Shepu is normal. So she would make, and for me it was like systemic change you bring about, and then it becomes autopilot. Right? Microwave, I was saying, okay, when the microwave stops working, it gets thrown out and no more microwave will be bought. And then it just becomes a systemic change you've made. What I'm trying to say is that there has to be one person in the house, any society or anything who is hell-bent on making that change. Hell-bent. Okay? Yes. And then you will get resistance. You just have to dig your feet and do. Shift is consciousness. If you're conscious about every action, fortunately, 90% of us have gone to school and we have some normal brain which is functioning, which is saying, okay,
just use logic.
Poison is bad. Take poison. And then you're wondering why I'm falling sick. This is not some infection you get from outside that you're saying, acha virus ho gaya, ya flu ho gaya, kuch dawai diya. And like cancer, suddenly the cells, the whole body knows how to operate. And suddenly it is saying, okay, I'm not going to make good cells, I'm going to make cancer cells, I'm going to eat up your other good things that are going on. And it's not coming from outside. It is something that you have done to a very beautifully functioning body. You have ruined it. And then you're crying.
Have you found any differences in the health of the family by switching to this kind of cooking and the recipes around?
See, it's been very long. I'm quite happy to say that Antara has fully been on organic food. She's 16 now. I don't think she's eaten anything. Unless if you're going out and eating, you're not eating organic food. But she doesn't get sick. You do get. I'm not saying she doesn't get sick, but it's not a regular thing at all. Once in a while you'll get a cold. Once in a while you will. I have not seen her having stomach issues or digestion issues. 5-6 years I have volunteered for cancer care, and I used to go to Sassoon. And you have documentaries you see, like Punjab, because of the Green Revolution, the whole pesticide spraying, now it has reached the water table. Everything is contaminated. Now farmers, they know what they're doing is not okay, so they grow their own food for their own consumption without pesticides, which they keep and they eat. And for commercial use, they do their stuff. And you have a hospital in Rajasthan only for cancer. And there's a cancer train running from Punjab to
Rajasthan.
Full every.
So what effect this happens? When you're talking about, is it directly, have you observed that it is directly a relation with the food that is going inside?
Right. There are two things. You have to take care both ways. if you eat really organic food and you're really toxic in your emotions and your whatever, of course you'll get cancer, even in spite of having great organic food. It's a two-way thing. Your internal health is really on how you feel inside your head and how you feel in your heart and what you eat. The other one is really a choice that you have to, at least for this you pay money and not you get. It's a simpler thing, right? To change your food habits. The other one is more difficult, more consciousness to understand what's making you angry and you're this and you're that, and to move to more wholesome space in your.
So, did you make any changes of cooking styles in your kitchen?
No, I don't think so. There has been, in the sense like then some, they said, okay, don't cook so much in the pressure cooker, don't just blast vegetables with inside the pressure cooker, steam it, and then do the tadka. It is easier. So yes, but then you don't have enough steamer. So the systemic change is like quickly go buy a steamer.
You also be doing. I've seen solar in your candles, and you're also doing a lot of composting. So
Yes.
what are these kind of practices? How have you? What is your experience? How did you get into starting all this?
Everything, right from garbage, there is leaf harvesting, there is composting.
So
Nothing that falls in this premises goes out other than like the plastic. Then wherever you go, that huge bins come along, right? And those are again, what I'm trying to say is that it is just a starting problem. You systemic changes, you just have to grit your teeth and say, I'm going to do this. And do it. Once that damn thing is installed, it's very hard to throw it. Kitchen waste, you just buy 2 different bins, you segregate. That's the first step. Then it just becomes automatic.
And with compost, you get food at your own house also. You're
Yes,
growing food.
yes. I'm growing food in the terrace.
Okay.
Last time, in the last crop, I got incredible ash gourds.
Okay.
Like lots. Every 2-3 days, I will get about half kilo of bhindi, and that long beans, lobia,
Yes.
sponge gourd, Malabar spinach. When we go out, you don't get any other. If you're a vegetarian, what do you get? Aloo, palak, paneer, gobi. बहुत किया तो भिंडी. Nothing. What else you get? Nothing. Grandmother used to make that horse gram say rasam, and I knew that along with her, horse gram also passed away in my life. And then suddenly you said, okay, you get horse gram. So this combination of this new kind of, not new to me, it's always existed. And the power of internet. Somebody telling you, okay, horse gram rasam, my grandmother may be dead, but there are recipes in the net which you can pull out and then say, hey, there's horse gram rasam is possible. And so it's really the combination of availability and the internet, which gives you all the forgotten recipes and whatever. You just search something and you find something. So
this is a very good point. All the traditional recipes, if they come back, it actually aligns to your body.
Traditional Tamil cooking that we've kind of grown up with, there's only rice and ragi sometimes. I know that my grandmother used to say this is kambu and whatever, something she would say, but I never knew what to do with it. But now those things are available, and then if you have interest, you can know what to make out of it.
Right.
And some, like for example, simple things like adding ragi to your idli ka batter to make that ragi idli or ragi dosa or something like that. Those are nice. Just very simple, small changes you make, and you get a variation. So
it was a very insightful conversation, and we thank you actually a lot and wish you very happy Navratri. Keep liking and sharing our channel. It's Sustainable Lifestyle Global Network.
Thank you.
Thank you.